I want to show you my secret weapon that I always like to use, one of my favorite products for heat protection and also for color lock. It is made by Pravana, and it's Kera Glaze. So after I finish my color, I'll spray these in. There's 2 bottles. So you spray this one in first, give it a little shake. And then you go over the top with this one. They smell amazing, like lowies, like my customers always say how nice they smell. And this is gonna just help lock in that color, and it's also a heat activated like smoothing treatment, and the hair just feels so amazingly soft after, and that's what helps me get that real shine too on my finish. So a little secret weapon there from Pravana. It's my favorite. Before I do any of my styling, I always do a blow dry. I want to stress how important doing a blow dry is to the final result. You're never going to get something that's going to look like magnificent for your Instagram photo if all you ever do is just blast dry the hair. So you actually need to give it a proper blow dry, get that volume in there, smooth that hair so that it's got a good foundation, so that when you come along with your straightening iron or your curling iron, you're gonna like it's already got good bones, you know what I mean? Like when you're building a house and you know you've got the structure, and then you lay down the carpet and you paint the walls and everything like that. So number 1, good blow dry. Everything will come from a good blow dry. So I'm gonna give it a good blow dry. Just giving her a blow dry now, nice and dry, and you can see that colour. And you can see that it was definitely worth my while putting that pink on her roots, even though she's still a level 5. Look at that beautiful rosy reflect that it is. So it's definitely worth doing. Don't disregard it just because it's a level 5 and think it doesn't matter. Like, it matters. And you can see our rainbow panel. And every way you kind of wear the hair, it's going to look slightly different. Let me see if I can just show you. See, as I move it, how it looks different just everywhere. And if you have a look at the way that I applied the colour, it will look really kind of patchy. But then as you over-direct it and it kind of comes down like that, you get a much nicer blend. And it doesn't look like much right now while it's straight, but once I curl it, it really gives it the glam factor. It is good though to just mention to your clients that it can look like you can see the placement more when the hair is straight. So, you know, if she was to straighten her hair, like yes, you're going to see a little bit of lining. That's kind of unavoidable. So I like to just make them aware of that when they pick a style like this, just so that they know that obviously when it is curled, it is going to look different. But that's not bad. Welcome to chapter 7, styling. I'm going to just take you through and show you how I would style one of these colors and how I like to use my curling irons. Now the first thing that I will do is, before I begin any kind of heat styling, is just spray it with a bit of heat protector. My favorite one that I like to use is this from NAC Thermal Shield, and the reason that I love this one is number 1, it smells amazing, and number 2, it comes out in a really fine mist. So I like to just go over and give it a big spray before I start, rather than spraying individual sections. Because I always, honestly, I just find that if I am to spray individual sections, I just always end up forgetting. So if I give it a big spray before I start, then I don't get carried away and forget. And another reason you want to start off with your thermal protector is obviously number 1, to protect the hair, but not just about that, it's also about you know, your client is watching you the whole time that you're doing their hair too, and they want to know that you're looking after their hair as well. So protect the hair and also to keep the client happy. So 2 sections I'll start off with. I've already got her parted where she usually parts, and I'll just go in 2 sections, and I'll start at the bottom. Depending on how thick your hair will be, how thick you'll take these sections. Usually about 1 inch wide I take mine, and the way that I curl is like most of the time, 90% of the time, is I'll curl one side all going back in the same direction, and then the other side also all going back in the same direction, so they meet in the middle and it all just kind of flows really nicely for me. If you have given it a really nice smooth blow dry first, you might find that you don't need to go over your ends. If not, or you just want to give it a little bit extra, I'll go over the ends first to just smooth them out like this. Because the way I curl, I actually leave the ends out, so I want them to be nice and smooth. So this is how I curl basically. Put it in, twist it around, slowly kind of twisting it around. And I leave those ends out because that's the kind of curl that I like to create. And I also just find by leaving the curl out, the end out, it just gives it more of a casual kind of look, and the client doesn't feel like the hair has gone really short. It just gives it some length. So hold it there for a few seconds. I'll touch it to make sure that the hair is feeling hot, and then once I'm happy, I will release it. Yeah, you can see that. So that's essentially all I do. Do another one. Wrap it around. So I'm wanting to get that nice strong curl kind of up the top, and towards the end I want the curl to not be so tight. So I'll give it that one, give it a little bit more, and again I'm leaving those ends out, and I'm curling these in the same direction. Let me see if I can just turn her to the back for you. So you can see these curls are like coming in this way. Now this side, they're going to be coming in this way, so they're meeting in the middle. I've only got a little bit of hair here, so I'm just going to take it in one. That's it. It's hard trying to do this. It's kind of like doing it in the mirror, but worse, doing it for a camera. I'll try and use the whole width of my curler too. You don't want to just wrap it around the same spot, otherwise you're not going to get the best result and the heat distribution. So try not to like bunch the hair up, but wrap it, you know, up the length of your curler. You can see there again, I'm leaving about an inch of the ends out. I'm just going to touch it now, making sure, oh look, after all that, I've actually done it the wrong way. Oh dear. Yeah, so these are currently all going the same direction. So this is not what I would normally do. I think I've just gotten a little bit confused in front of the camera. Hang on a minute, let me fix this. Oh goodness. You know, this would never happen. Just because I'm recording, it has to happen. That's the way, okay. Did you realize before I realized? Oh my God. Okay. Let's take that again. I'm just going in the way that I said I was going. All right, this looks a little less than perfect, but you get the picture. So they're coming in towards each other is what I'm trying to explain. It'll look a bit better in the next section because I'm not going to stuff it up. Hang on a minute. That's it. It's because I usually go over and I tried to take it from under. I don't know why. I will get there. I've done this before, I swear. I think sometimes when you focus too much on the camera and then you just kind of forget what you're doing. Still leaving those ends out. Okay, now this looks a bit better. Here you go. We'll see what I'm working with. See how they're coming in and they meet in the middle. I'm going to just carry on and curl the whole head like this, the way that I've just kind of shown you, and leaving those ends smooth. And then once it's finished, I'll show you how I comb it out and dress it out for a nice photo. Now here is where we get into the fun part. Once we get to the front, I like to save the best till last. And this is where your client will always start to smile. And so will I, as we uncover that rainbow. And you're gonna see as I curl it, how this is just gonna change completely. It just goes from like drab to fab. It's incredible. Also, I might just mention the size of my curler that I'm using today. This is 1 inch, 1.25, if that makes sense. And this is my medium one, so it's not my largest curler, it's not my smallest one, it's just kind of my in-between one, and it will just depend on your client's hair. I know that this is really thick hair and this hair holds curl really well, but if I had someone with finer hair that doesn't hold curl really well, I'd probably opt to use my smaller one. Now watch this rainbow curl. Smooth down those ends first. I love to watch the rainbow wrap around the rod. So fun. Give it a few seconds. And then release. Nice little rainbow curl. Again, it's not looking like much right now because I'm indoor and I really don't have the best lighting. I am going to take you outside and show you the final results in the natural light. And that is something that I work with all the time. I don't have like a ring light or anything. I work with just natural light, which means I'll always take my clients outside into the outdoor lighting and I'll take photos there. I'll show you how I do it all. These are still going in the direction back off the face. She's all curled. So once you've finished all your curls, now remember we've gone back and they will meet in the middle. That's how I've done it. The way that I dress it out, before you touch it, make sure that the curls are not hot anymore, that they've had a chance to actually set. You don't want to go touching it before that, otherwise the curl may not hold. So I will get a shine serum usually at this point, unless they've got really fine hair or for some reason they don't want it. This is my favorite shine serum at the moment. It's Pravana and it just smells like lollies. I think a lot of my buys are based on smell. So you just want to get a little bit of that. Put it in my hands first to make sure there's not going to be too much, and then I'll start, you know, from the ends. Get most of that product off on the mids to ends, and then just with the very last remaining bit of product on my hands, if there's anything on top, I might just go like that on top. Okay. And I also have a favorite comb that I'm going to show you for this exact purpose. None other than this purpose. And it's a nice wide rake. This is what I love to use on my curls, all right? And I'll just comb it through and just break up those curls and give it that lived-in look, you know? Comb it all back. Look at that. What a difference that makes. From drab to fab. I'm going to take you outside now and show you how I do my photos.